Title: Art of Negotiations and Science Behind Alternate Negotiations. Negotiation skills play a pivotal role in various aspects of our personal and professional lives. They are essential tools that allow individuals to navigate conflicts, reach agreements, and achieve mutually beneficial outcomes. Here are some key points to elaborate on the importance of negotiation skills. Conflict resolution. Negotiation skills are vital for resolving conflicts and disputes effectively. By understanding how to communicate, listen actively, and find common ground, individuals can de-escalate tensions and find solutions that satisfy all parties involved. Building relationships. Negotiation skills are instrumental in building and maintaining positive relationships. Effective negotiators can communicate their needs, listen to others' perspectives, and collaborate to create win-win outcomes, fostering trust and rapport in various interactions. Achieving goals. Negotiation skills are essential for achieving personal and professional goals. Whether negotiating a salary, closing a business deal, or making decisions in a team setting, individuals with strong negotiation skills can advocate for themselves effectively and secure favorable outcomes. Enhancing communication. Negotiation skills improve communication abilities, including active listening, empathy, and persuasion. By honing these skills, individuals can express their thoughts clearly, understand others' viewpoints, and influence positive outcomes through effective dialogue. Adaptability and problem-solving. Negotiation skills help individuals become more adaptable and adept at problem-solving. In dynamic situations where interests may conflict, negotiating parties must think creatively, explore alternatives, and craft innovative solutions to address complex challenges. Empowerment. Developing negotiation skills empowers individuals to take control of their circumstances and advocate for their interests confidently. By understanding negotiation principles and strategies, individuals can navigate diverse scenarios with assertiveness and strategic thinking. Professional success. Strong negotiation skills are often linked to professional success and career advancement. Individuals who can negotiate effectively tend to excel in leadership roles, sales positions, project management, and various other fields where negotiation plays a vital role in achieving objectives. By delving deeper into these aspects of negotiation skills, your readers will gain a comprehensive understanding of why honing these skills is essential for personal growth, professional development, and fostering positive interactions in various contexts. When discussing the overview of traditional negotiation methods in your book on the art of negotiations and science behind alternate negotiations, it's essential to provide a detailed exploration of the various approaches and techniques that have been commonly used in the field of negotiation. Here is a deep dive into the traditional negotiation methods. Distributive negotiation. Definition: distributive negotiation, also known as competitive or win-lose negotiation, involves a fixed pie where one party's gain is the other party's loss. Strategy: parties typically adopt positional bargaining, making initial offers, concessions, and counteroffers to claim value from a limited set of resources. Focus: the focus is on maximizing individual gains rather than creating value through collaboration. Integrative negotiation. Definition: integrative negotiation, also known as collaborative or win-win negotiation, aims to create value for all parties involved by identifying common interests and mutually beneficial solutions. Strategy: parties engage in open communication, problem-solving, and creative brainstorming to expand the pie and maximize joint outcomes. Focus: the focus is on fostering relationships, building trust, and exploring options that meet the interests of all stakeholders. Principled negotiation, getting to yes. Approach: developed by Roger Fisher and William Uey in their book Getting to Yes, a principled negotiation emphasizes separating people from the problem, focusing on interests rather than positions, generating options for mutual gain, and insisting on objective criteria. Key concepts: BATNER, best alternative to a negotiated agreement; ZOPER, zone of possible agreement, and focusing on objective criteria rather than subjective judgments. Hard bargaining. Strategy. Hard bargaining involves using aggressive tactics, bluffing, threats, and other competitive techniques to secure favorable outcomes. Risk. While hard bargaining can result in short-term gains, it may damage relationships and lead to negative long-term consequences. Soft bargaining. Approach. Soft bargaining emphasizes cooperation, empathy, and relationship building during negotiations to maintain harmony and preserve long-term partnerships. Effectiveness. Soft bargaining can be effective in situations where maintaining relationships and trust is crucial for future interactions. Cross-cultural negotiation. Challenges. Negotiating across cultures requires an understanding of cultural norms, communication styles, and values to avoid misunderstandings and navigate differences effectively. Strategies. Adapting communication approaches, showing respect for diverse perspectives, and seeking common ground are essential in cross-cultural negotiation settings. By exploring these traditional negotiation methods in depth, your readers will gain insights into the diverse strategies, approaches, and techniques used in negotiations, enabling them to navigate complex scenarios and achieve successful outcomes in various contexts. When it comes to understanding the art of negotiation, it's essential to delve into the foundational principles, strategies, and skills that form the core of successful negotiation practices. Here is a detailed exploration of key aspects related to the art of negotiation. Definition of negotiation. Negotiation is a strategic communication process between two or more parties with the goal of reaching a mutually acceptable agreement while considering each party's interests, needs, and objectives. Principles of negotiation. Mutual benefit. Successful negotiations aim to create value for all parties involved, leading to mutually beneficial outcomes. Effective communication. Clear and open communication is essential for understanding each party's perspectives, interests, and priorities. Flexibility. Being adaptable and willing to explore alternative solutions allows negotiators to find creative ways to address differences and reach agreements. Preparation. Thorough preparation, including setting objectives, understanding the other party's position, and anticipating challenges, increases the likelihood of a successful negotiation. Negotiation styles. Competitive. Win-lose in competitive negotiations, parties focus on maximizing their own gains at the expense of the other party, often leading to a win-lose outcome. Collaborative. Win-win collaborative negotiations prioritize creating value for all parties by seeking solutions that address shared interests and optimize outcomes for everyone involved. Effective communication skills. Active listening. Paying attention to the other party's words, tone, and body language demonstrates respect and helps build rapport. Empathy. Understanding and acknowledging the other party's emotions and perspectives fosters trust and enhances the negotiation process. Clear articulation. Expressing thoughts, needs, and proposals clearly and concisely ensures mutual understanding and facilitates constructive dialogue. Building trust and rapport. Establishing trust through transparency, integrity, and consistency is essential for creating a positive negotiation environment where parties feel comfortable sharing information and exploring options. Negotiation tactics and strategies. BATNER. Best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Knowing your BATNER allows you to assess the value of potential agreements and make informed decisions during negotiations. Anchoring. Setting an initial offer or reference point can influence the negotiation process by shaping perceptions and expectations. Concessions. Making strategic concessions based on priorities and trade-offs can help move negotiations forward and build momentum toward reaching a resolution. By understanding and applying these elements of the art of negotiation, individuals can enhance their negotiation skills, navigate challenging situations effectively, and achieve successful outcomes that align with their objectives and interests. Definition of negotiation. Negotiation is a strategic communication process between two or more parties with the aim of reaching a mutually acceptable agreement by addressing each party's interests, concerns, and priorities. It involves a give-and-take exchange of information, proposals, and concessions to find common ground and achieve a desirable outcome for all parties involved. Negotiation is a fundamental skill that plays a crucial role in resolving conflicts, making decisions, and building relationships in various personal and professional settings. Principles of negotiation. Mutual benefit. Negotiation should seek to create value for all parties involved, leading to outcomes that satisfy the interests and objectives of each party. Effective communication. Clear and open communication is essential to ensure that all parties understand each other's perspectives, interests, and needs. Active listening, asking clarifying questions, and expressing thoughts concisely contribute to productive dialogue. Preparation. Thorough preparation before entering a negotiation is key to success. This includes defining objectives, researching the other party's position, understanding potential trade-offs, and developing a strategy to achieve desired outcomes. Flexibility. Being flexible and adaptable during negotiations allows parties to explore alternative solutions, adjust strategies based on new information, and find creative ways to address differences and reach agreements that benefit all parties. Fairness and integrity. Negotiations should be conducted with fairness, honesty, and integrity. Building trust through transparent communication, honoring commitments, and upholding ethical standards contributes to constructive and sustainable agreements. By adhering to these principles of negotiation, individuals can navigate complex interactions effectively, build strong relationships, and achieve positive outcomes that meet the interests and goals of all parties involved. Negotiation styles refer to the approaches and techniques individuals use to engage in the negotiation process. Here are the common types of negotiation styles. Competitive negotiation, win-lose. Description. In competitive negotiation, also known as win-lose negotiation, parties view the negotiation as a zero-sum game where one party's gain is the other party's loss. Strategy. Each party focuses on maximizing their own interests and outcomes, often using aggressive tactics to gain advantages over the other party. Outcome. This style may lead to one party achieving their objectives at the expense of the other, resulting in a win for one party and a loss for the other. Collaborative negotiation, win-win. Description. Collaborative negotiation, also known as win-win negotiation, emphasizes creating value and finding mutually beneficial solutions that meet the interests of all parties involved. Strategy. Parties work together to explore shared interests, engage in open communication, and seek creative solutions that maximize outcomes for everyone. Outcome. This style aims to build positive relationships, foster trust, and generate agreements that satisfy the needs of all parties, leading to win-win outcomes. Compromising negotiation. Description. In compromising negotiation, parties seek to find middle ground by making concessions and finding solutions that require each party to give up some of their demands. Strategy. Parties are willing to make trade-offs to reach a consensus and avoid deadlock, often resulting in both parties achieving partial satisfaction of their objectives. Outcome. This style aims to achieve a quick resolution by finding a compromise that balances the interests of all parties involved. Avoiding negotiation. Description. Avoiding negotiation involves sidestepping or postponing the negotiation process to avoid conflict or decision-making. Strategy. Parties may choose to withdraw from negotiations, delay discussions, or ignore the issue at hand to prevent confrontation. Outcome. While avoidance can temporarily alleviate tension, it may lead to unresolved issues and missed opportunities for reaching agreements. Accommodating negotiation. Description. Accommodating negotiation involves prioritizing the other party's interests and needs over one's own, often to maintain relationships or demonstrate goodwill. Strategy. Parties may yield to the other party's demands, show flexibility, and make concessions to satisfy the other party's requirements. Outcome. This style aims to build trust, show cooperation, and strengthen relationships, sometimes at the expense of achieving one's own objectives. By understanding these negotiation styles, individuals can adapt their approach based on the context, goals, and relationships involved in the negotiation process, leading to more effective and successful outcomes in various scenarios. Developing effective communication skills is crucial for successful negotiations. Here are some key strategies to enhance communication skills specifically for negotiations. Active listening. Focus on understanding the other party's perspective by paying attention to their words, tone, and body language. Demonstrate engagement through eye contact, nodding, and paraphrasing to show that you are listening attentively. Clarify and confirm your understanding of the other party's statements to avoid misunderstandings. Empathy and emotional intelligence. Put yourself in the other party's shoes to understand their emotions, motivations, and concerns. Acknowledge and validate the other party's feelings to build rapport and trust. Manage your own emotions effectively to stay composed and handle conflicts with empathy. Clear and concise communication. Express your thoughts, needs, and proposals clearly and succinctly to avoid ambiguities. Use simple language and avoid jargon to ensure your message is easily understood by all parties. Structure your arguments logically and present information in a coherent manner to strengthen your position. Nonverbal communication. Pay attention to your body language, facial expressions, and gestures to convey confidence and openness. Maintain good posture, make eye contact, and use gestures purposefully to reinforce your verbal communication. Be aware of the other party's nonverbal cues to gauge their reactions and adjust your approach accordingly. Assertiveness and diplomacy. Assert your needs and interests clearly while respecting the other party's viewpoints. Use diplomatic language and tone to convey your message assertively without being confrontational. Strike a balance between advocating for your position and fostering a collaborative negotiation environment. Questioning and clarification. Ask open-ended questions to gather information, explore the other party's interests, and uncover underlying needs. Seek clarification on ambiguous points or conflicting statements to ensure mutual understanding. Encourage the other party to share their perspective and actively listen to their responses. Negotiation language and framing. Use persuasive language and framing techniques to present your proposals and arguments convincingly. Frame issues in a positive light, highlight shared interests, and emphasize the benefits of reaching an agreement. Avoid negative language, accusations, or ultimatums that may escalate conflicts and hinder productive communication. By honing these communication skills, individuals can enhance their ability to convey ideas effectively, build rapport with negotiation counterparts, and navigate discussions with clarity and confidence, ultimately leading to more successful and mutually beneficial outcomes in negotiations. Understanding the psychology behind negotiations is essential for navigating the complexities of human behavior and decision-making in the negotiation process. Here are key psychological insights to consider. Emotions in negotiations. Emotions play a significant role in negotiations, influencing perceptions, decisions, and outcomes. Recognize and manage your emotions as well as those of the other party to maintain a constructive negotiation environment. Emphasize empathy, active listening, and emotional intelligence to build rapport and address emotional dynamics effectively. Cognitive biases and heuristics. People are prone to cognitive biases and mental shortcuts, heuristics, that can impact judgment and decision-making in negotiations. Be aware of common biases such as anchoring, confirmation bias, and availability heuristic to mitigate their effects on negotiation outcomes. Use objective data, consider alternative perspectives, and challenge assumptions to counteract cognitive biases and make informed decisions. Social influence and persuasion. Social influence tactics, such as reciprocity, authority, and social proof, can be leveraged to persuade and influence the other party in negotiations. Understand the principles of persuasion, including building credibility, highlighting common ground, and framing arguments effectively to sway opinions and gain cooperation. Be mindful of ethical considerations and avoid manipulative tactics that may undermine trust and harm long-term relationships. Decision-making under uncertainty. Negotiations often involve making decisions in ambiguous or uncertain situations, leading to risk and complexity. Utilize decision-making frameworks, risk analysis tools, and scenario planning to assess uncertainties, evaluate options, and make informed choices. Seek to minimize risks, gather relevant information, and anticipate potential outcomes to enhance decision quality and negotiation effectiveness. Behavioral dynamics and power. Power dynamics, hierarchies, and social norms can influence behavior and interactions in negotiations. Understand power dynamics within the negotiation context, identify sources of power, and adjust strategies based on power imbalances. Foster a collaborative and inclusive negotiation environment that acknowledges and balances power dynamics to promote fairness and mutual respect. By incorporating psychological principles into your negotiation approach, you can gain insights into human behavior, motivations, and decision processes, enabling you to navigate negotiations more effectively, build stronger relationships, and achieve successful outcomes that align with the interests of all parties involved. Understanding human behavior is crucial in negotiations as it influences interactions, communication, and decision-making processes. Here are key aspects to consider when analyzing human behavior in negotiations. Motivations and interests. Recognize that individuals in negotiations are driven by various motivations, needs, and interests that shape their behavior and decision-making. Identify underlying interests, as opposed to stated positions, to uncover mutual goals and opportunities for collaboration. Tailor your negotiation strategy to address the other party's motivations and create value by satisfying their core interests. Communication styles and preferences. Different individuals have varying communication styles, preferences, and ways of processing information in negotiations. Adapt your communication approach to align with the other party's style, whether they prefer direct communication, detailed analysis, visual aids, or emotional appeals. Foster effective communication by listening actively, empathizing with the other party, and adjusting your message to resonate with their preferred style. Decision-making processes. Understand that decision-making in negotiations is influenced by cognitive biases, emotions, and heuristics that can affect judgment and choices. Encourage rational decision-making by providing clear information, structuring options logically, and addressing biases through objective analysis. Facilitate informed decisions by engaging in open dialogue, clarifying uncertainties, and promoting collaborative problem-solving. Trust and relationship building. Trust is a critical factor in negotiations, influencing cooperation, information sharing, and the willingness to make concessions. Build trust by demonstrating integrity, reliability, and transparency in your actions and communication. Invest in relationship building by showing empathy, understanding the other party's perspective, and seeking common ground to establish a foundation of trust and goodwill. Emotional intelligence and empathy. Emotional intelligence enables you to recognize and manage emotions, both your own and those of the other party, in negotiations. Cultivate empathy to understand the other party's feelings, perspectives, and needs, fostering rapport and constructive dialogue. Use emotional intelligence to navigate conflicts, de-escalate tensions, and foster positive interactions that lead to mutually beneficial outcomes. By gaining insights into human behavior and applying this understanding to negotiations, you can tailor your approach, communication, and strategies to effectively engage with the other party, build trust, and achieve successful outcomes that align with the interests and priorities of all stakeholders involved. Emotions play a significant role in decision-making during negotiations, influencing perceptions, behavior, and outcomes. Here's how emotions can impact decision-making in negotiations. Emotional influences on decision-making. Emotions can cloud judgment, leading to impulsive decisions, irrational responses, and biased evaluations in negotiations. Strong emotions such as anger, fear, or excitement can overshadow rational thinking and influence the interpretation of information and the assessment of alternatives. Emotional contagion. Emotions are contagious, and individuals in negotiations can mirror each other's emotional states, affecting the overall mood and dynamics of the interaction. Recognize the impact of emotional contagion and strive to maintain a positive and constructive emotional atmosphere to facilitate productive negotiation exchanges. Anxiety and risk aversion. Anxiety and fear can lead to risk aversion, reluctance to take chances, and a preference for safe, conservative decisions in negotiations. Mitigate anxiety by creating a supportive and collaborative negotiation environment, providing reassurance, and focusing on shared interests to reduce perceived risks. Empathy and understanding. Empathy plays a crucial role in negotiations by helping individuals understand and respond to the emotions of the other party, fostering rapport and trust. Demonstrate empathy by acknowledging the other party's feelings, validating their perspectives, and showing genuine interest in their concerns to build a foundation of mutual understanding. Emotional regulation and management. Effective emotional regulation is essential for maintaining composure, managing stress, and making sound decisions in emotionally charged negotiation situations. Develop strategies for emotional management, such as deep breathing, mindfulness techniques, and taking breaks to recalibrate emotions and maintain a balanced approach to decision-making. Positive emotions and creativity. Positive emotions, such as optimism, enthusiasm, and curiosity, can enhance creativity, problem-solving abilities, and collaboration in negotiations. Cultivate a positive emotional climate by expressing appreciation, highlighting shared goals, and encouraging innovative thinking to stimulate constructive dialogue and generate creative solutions. Conflict resolution and emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is key to managing conflicts, resolving disputes, and navigating emotional dynamics in negotiations effectively. Use emotional intelligence skills, such as self-awareness, self-regulation, social awareness, and relationship management, to address emotions constructively, build rapport, and facilitate mutually beneficial agreements. By recognizing the impact of emotions on decision-making in negotiations and developing strategies to manage and leverage emotions effectively, individuals can enhance their ability to navigate emotional complexities, foster positive interactions, and achieve successful outcomes that align with the interests and objectives of all parties involved. Building trust and rapport is essential in negotiations as it establishes a foundation of mutual respect, openness, and collaboration. Here are strategies to cultivate trust and rapport in negotiations. Communication and transparency. Foster trust by maintaining clear, honest, and transparent communication throughout the negotiation process. Share relevant information, express your intentions openly, and clarify expectations to build credibility and demonstrate integrity. Active listening and empathy. Demonstrate empathy by actively listening to the other party's perspectives, concerns, and needs. Show genuine interest in understanding the other party's emotions and motivations, validating their feelings, and responding with empathy to build rapport. Consistency and reliability. Establish trust through consistent behavior, reliability in keeping commitments, and following through on promises made during negotiations. Demonstrate integrity by aligning your words with your actions and being dependable in meeting agreed-upon deadlines and obligations. Building personal connections. Strengthen rapport by building personal connections with the other party beyond the negotiation table. Find common ground, show interest in their background or interests, and engage in casual conversations to humanize the interaction and create a sense of camaraderie. Respect and understanding. Respect the other party's viewpoints, perspectives, and cultural differences to create a respectful negotiation environment. Acknowledge and validate the other party's concerns, demonstrate understanding of their position, and show appreciation for their contributions to foster a spirit of cooperation. Problem-solving orientation. Collaborate with the other party in problem-solving, focusing on shared interests and mutual gains. Frame negotiations as a joint effort to address challenges, explore solutions, and create value together, emphasizing a win-win approach that benefits all parties involved. Managing conflicts constructively. Address conflicts and disagreements openly and constructively, seeking to resolve differences through dialogue and negotiation. Approach conflicts as opportunities for growth, learning, and strengthening relationships, using conflict resolution skills to navigate challenging discussions effectively. Professionalism and courtesy. Demonstrate professionalism, courtesy, and respect in your interactions, maintaining a positive and diplomatic demeanor throughout the negotiation process. Uphold ethical standards, avoid personal attacks or aggressive behavior, and prioritize building a professional relationship based on mutual trust and respect. By incorporating these trust-building strategies into your negotiation approach, you can create a conducive and collaborative environment that promotes open communication, understanding, and cooperation, ultimately leading to successful outcomes that prioritize the interests and relationships of all parties involved. Exploring alternate negotiation strategies involves understanding the underlying principles, tactics, and approaches that can be employed to achieve successful outcomes in various negotiation scenarios. Here is a glimpse into the science behind alternate negotiation strategies. Principled negotiation, interest-based bargaining. Science behind it. Principled negotiation focuses on identifying underlying interests rather than positions to create value and reach mutually beneficial agreements. Key aspects. By separating people from the problem, focusing on interests, generating options for mutual gain, and insisting on objective criteria, principled negotiation can lead to more sustainable and satisfying outcomes. Distributive negotiation, competitive bargaining. Science behind it. Distributive negotiation involves a competitive approach where parties seek to claim value and maximize their gains at the expense of the other party. Key aspects. Tactics such as setting high anchor points, making strategic concessions, and leveraging power dynamics are common in distributive negotiation to secure favorable outcomes. Integrative negotiation, win-win approach. Science behind it. Integrative negotiation aims to expand the pie of resources by finding creative solutions that satisfy the interests of all parties involved. Key aspects. By collaborating, problem-solving, and exploring synergies, integrative negotiation fosters a cooperative environment where parties work together to achieve mutually beneficial agreements. BATNER, best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Science behind it. Understanding and leveraging your BATNER provides a scientific basis for assessing the value of potential agreements and making informed decisions during negotiations. Key aspects. By evaluating alternatives, predicting outcomes, and setting reservation points, negotiators can enhance their negotiation leverage and make strategic choices based on objective criteria. Emotional intelligence and influence. Science behind it. Emotional intelligence and influence strategies are grounded in psychological principles that govern human behavior, emotions, and decision-making. Key aspects. Using empathy, active listening, persuasion techniques, and emotional regulation, negotiators can connect with others, build trust, and influence outcomes through effective communication and relationship building. Negotiation ethics and fairness. Science behind it. Negotiation ethics and fairness are informed by moral principles, social norms, and legal considerations that guide ethical decision-making in negotiations. Key aspects. Upholding integrity, honesty, respect for others, and a commitment to fairness can contribute to building trust, maintaining relationships, and achieving sustainable agreements based on shared values. By delving into the science behind alternate negotiation strategies, individuals can gain insights into the theoretical foundations, empirical research, and practical applications that inform effective negotiation practices, enabling them to adapt their approach, tactics, and mindset to achieve successful outcomes in diverse negotiation contexts. Win-win negotiation techniques focus on creating value for all parties involved in the negotiation, leading to mutually beneficial outcomes. Here are some effective win-win negotiation techniques to explore. Identify shared interests. Focus on identifying common goals, interests, and values that can create value for all parties. Collaborate to find solutions that address shared interests and maximize outcomes for everyone involved. Brainstorming and problem solving. Encourage open communication and creative brainstorming to generate a range of options and alternatives. Work together to problem solve and explore innovative solutions that meet the needs of all parties. Prioritize needs and objectives. Understand the priorities, concerns, and objectives of each party to tailor solutions that address their specific needs. Seek to balance competing interests and find compromises that satisfy core requirements for all parties. Expand the pie. Look for opportunities to expand the value or resources available in the negotiation, creating more favorable outcomes for everyone. Explore ways to increase the overall benefits and outcomes beyond initial expectations. Trade-offs and concessions. Be willing to make trade-offs and concessions that are valuable to the other party while also meeting your own objectives. Find areas where compromise is possible and negotiate mutually beneficial exchanges to build trust and goodwill. Interest-based bargaining. Focus on understanding underlying interests, motivations, and needs rather than rigid positions. Use interest-based bargaining to create value, explore common ground, and find solutions that address the underlying concerns of all parties. Clear communication and active listening. Practice clear and effective communication to ensure mutual understanding and alignment on objectives. Listen actively to the other party's perspectives, concerns, and priorities to build empathy and rapport. Negotiate criteria and standards. Refer to objective criteria, standards, or benchmarks to guide the negotiation process and decision-making. Use fair and transparent criteria to evaluate proposals, assess options, and reach agreements based on shared principles. Building trust and rapport. Invest in building trust, rapport, and positive relationships with the other party to create a collaborative negotiation environment. Demonstrate integrity, reliability, and respect to establish a foundation of trust that supports win-win outcomes. By incorporating these win-win negotiation techniques into your negotiation approach, you can cultivate a collaborative and constructive environment that promotes mutual gains, fosters trust, and leads to successful outcomes that meet the needs and interests of all parties involved. BATNER, best alternative to a negotiated agreement, and ZOPER, zone of possible agreement, are essential concepts in negotiation that help assess options, set boundaries, and make strategic decisions. Here's how you can effectively utilize BATNER and ZOPER in your negotiation strategy. BATNER, best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Definition: BATNER refers to the best course of action a party can take if negotiations fail to reach an agreement. Utilization: identify and assess your BATNER before entering into negotiations to understand your alternatives and leverage your position. Use your BATNER as a benchmark to evaluate proposed agreements, determine reservation points, and make informed decisions during negotiations. Improve your BATNER by exploring alternative options, building relationships, and seeking viable alternatives to increase your negotiation leverage. ZOPER, zone of possible agreement. Definition: ZOPER represents the range or overlap of acceptable outcomes where both parties can potentially reach an agreement. Utilization: identify the ZOPER by understanding each party's interests, priorities, and constraints to determine the feasible range of agreements. Explore options and proposals that fall within the ZOPER to find mutually acceptable solutions that maximize value for both parties. Expand the ZOPER by creating value, making trade-offs, and addressing shared interests to increase the potential for reaching win-win agreements. Integration of BATNER and ZOPER. Synergies: Utilize your partner to assess the strength of your position and set realistic expectations within the Zoper range. Leverage your partner to negotiate from a position of strength while exploring options that align with the Zoper to create value and reach agreements. Strategic decision-making. Partner. Use your partner to determine your walkaway point, evaluate proposed agreements, and make strategic decisions based on your alternatives. Avoid accepting agreements that fall below your partner threshold and consider walking away if the negotiated outcome does not meet your needs. Collaborative solutions. Zoper. Focus on exploring solutions within the Zoper to find common ground, build trust, and negotiate agreements that satisfy the interests of all parties. Seek to expand the Zoper by identifying creative options, addressing concerns, and demonstrating flexibility to reach mutually beneficial outcomes. By effectively utilizing the concepts of partner and Zoper in your negotiation strategy, you can enhance your decision-making, assess alternatives, and navigate negotiations with clarity, confidence, and a strategic approach that maximizes value and leads to successful outcomes for all parties involved. Leveraging power dynamics in negotiations involves understanding sources of power, managing asymmetries, and using influence strategically to achieve favorable outcomes. Here are effective strategies for leveraging power dynamics in negotiations. Identify power sources. Recognize different sources of power, such as expertise, authority, resources, information, and relationships, which can influence negotiation dynamics. Assess your own sources of power and the other party's sources to understand the balance of power in the negotiation. Utilize information advantage. Leverage information asymmetry by gathering relevant data, conducting research, and staying informed about the other party's interests and priorities. Use information strategically to support your arguments, make informed decisions, and gain a competitive edge in negotiations. Build relationships and alliances. Strengthen relationships with key stakeholders, allies, or third parties who can support your position and provide leverage in negotiations. Cultivate alliances, partnerships, or coalitions to enhance your bargaining power and influence the negotiation process. Demonstrate confidence and assertiveness. Project confidence, assertiveness, and a strong presence during negotiations to convey credibility and command respect. Use confident body language, clear communication, and persuasive language to assert your interests and establish authority in the negotiation. Create scarcity or urgency. Introduce elements of scarcity or urgency in negotiations to create a sense of value, importance, or time pressure that can influence the other party's decisions. Highlight limited resources, time-sensitive opportunities, or exclusive offers to drive momentum and incentivize agreements. Negotiate from a position of strength. Position yourself strategically by leveraging your strengths, advantages, and alternatives to negotiate from a position of strength. Emphasize your value proposition, unique selling points, or competitive advantages to demonstrate your worth and influence the negotiation outcome. Exercise patience and persistence. Demonstrate patience and persistence in negotiations to maintain control, stay focused on your objectives, and navigate challenges effectively. Avoid rushing decisions, remain composed under pressure, and persevere in pursuing favorable outcomes aligned with your interests. Adapt to changing dynamics. Stay flexible and adaptable to evolving power dynamics, shifting priorities, or unexpected developments during negotiations. Adjust your strategies, tactics, and approaches based on changing circumstances to leverage power effectively and optimize outcomes. By leveraging power dynamics strategically in negotiations, individuals can enhance their influence, negotiation effectiveness, and ability to secure favorable agreements that align with their objectives. Balancing power dynamics ethically and skillfully can lead to successful outcomes that promote mutual understanding, collaboration, and value creation for all parties involved. Negotiating in different contexts requires adaptability, cultural awareness, and strategic flexibility to navigate diverse environments and achieve successful outcomes. Here are key considerations for negotiating in various contexts. Cross-cultural negotiations. Understand cultural differences, communication styles, values, and norms that may impact negotiation dynamics. Adapt your approach to accommodate cultural preferences, build rapport, and demonstrate respect for diverse perspectives. Seek to bridge cultural gaps, clarify misunderstandings, and find common ground to foster effective cross-cultural negotiations. Business negotiations. Prepare thoroughly by researching the industry, market trends, competitors, and the other party's business objectives. Focus on value creation, profitability, and long-term relationships to optimize business negotiations. Utilize data, metrics, and financial analysis to support your proposals and make data-driven decisions that align with business goals. Labor negotiations. Address labor concerns, employee welfare, working conditions, and collective bargaining agreements in labor negotiations. Prioritize fairness, equity, and employee satisfaction to build trust and collaboration with labor representatives. Consider labor laws, regulations, and industry standards when negotiating labor-related issues to ensure compliance and positive labor relations. International negotiations. Navigate legal, political, economic, and cultural complexities in international negotiations by conducting thorough research and due diligence. Adapt to differences in language, customs, negotiation styles, and business practices across countries and regions. Consider international trade agreements, tariffs, exchange rates, and geopolitical factors that may influence international negotiations. Personal negotiations. Apply negotiation principles to personal contexts such as salary discussions, buying a house, resolving conflicts, or making decisions with family members. Clarify personal interests, needs, and priorities to guide personal negotiations and ensure outcomes that align with your values and objectives. Practice active listening, empathy, and problem-solving skills in personal negotiations to build understanding, empathy, and trust with others. Government negotiations. Navigate bureaucratic processes, regulatory constraints, and political considerations in government negotiations. Understand government policies, public interests, stakeholder priorities, and legal implications that may impact government negotiations. Communicate effectively, build consensus, and address public concerns in government negotiations to achieve outcomes that serve the common good. Community negotiations. Engage stakeholders, community leaders, and residents in community negotiations to address local issues, development projects, or public initiatives. Foster inclusivity, transparency, and participatory decision-making in community negotiations to build trust and support. Consider environmental impact, social responsibility, and community needs in community negotiations to create sustainable and socially responsible outcomes. By adapting your negotiation approach to different contexts, embracing diversity, and tailoring your strategies to specific environments, you can enhance your negotiation effectiveness, build relationships, and achieve outcomes that meet the needs and interests of all parties involved. Business negotiations are crucial for securing deals, partnerships, and agreements that drive growth and success. Here are key strategies for navigating business negotiations effectively. Preparation and planning. Conduct thorough research on the other party, industry trends, market conditions, and potential negotiation outcomes. Define your goals, priorities, and alternatives, partner, to guide your negotiation strategy and decision-making process. Anticipate potential challenges, objections, and concessions to develop a proactive negotiation plan. Establishing relationships. Build rapport, trust, and credibility with the other party through active listening, empathy, and transparent communication. Foster a positive negotiation environment by demonstrating professionalism, respect, and a collaborative attitude. Focus on long-term relationship building to create mutual value and sustainable partnerships beyond the negotiation. Value creation. Emphasize value creation by highlighting the benefits, solutions, and advantages your offer brings to the other party. Identify synergies, opportunities for collaboration, and ways to address the other party's needs and interests. Strive for win-win outcomes that maximize value for both parties and lay the foundation for future business success. Negotiation tactics. Employ effective negotiation tactics such as active listening, questioning, mirroring, and framing to influence the discussion. Use anchoring, framing, and concession strategies strategically to shape the negotiation dynamics and outcomes. Remain flexible, adaptable, and responsive to changing circumstances during the negotiation process. Communication skills. Communicate clearly, concisely, and persuasively to convey your message, proposals, and value proposition effectively. Manage conflict constructively by acknowledging differences, seeking common ground, and finding solutions that address concerns. Practice active listening, empathy, and assertiveness to understand the other party's perspective and communicate your interests persuasively. Closing the deal. Seek agreement on key terms, conditions, and deliverables to finalize the negotiation and secure a mutually acceptable deal. Clarify expectations, document agreements in writing, and ensure both parties have a clear understanding of their responsibilities. Follow up with post-negotiation actions, such as contract signing, implementation planning, and relationship management to ensure successful deal closure and implementation. Continuous improvement. Reflect on the negotiation process, outcomes, and lessons learned to identify areas for improvement and development. Seek feedback from stakeholders, colleagues, or mentors to enhance your negotiation skills, strategies, and effectiveness. Continuously refine your negotiation approach, learn from experiences, and adapt to evolving business dynamics to achieve better results in future negotiations. By applying these strategies and principles to your business negotiations, you can enhance your negotiation effectiveness, build strategic partnerships, and secure agreements that drive business growth, innovation, and success. Negotiating in personal relationships involves effective communication, empathy, and conflict resolution skills to address differences, make decisions, and strengthen connections. Here are key strategies for navigating negotiations in personal relationships. Open communication. Foster open, honest, and transparent communication to express thoughts, feelings, and needs in personal negotiations. Practice active listening to understand the perspectives, concerns, and emotions of the other party in the relationship. Encourage dialogue, feedback, and dialogue to build understanding, trust, and connection in personal conversations. Empathy and understanding. Cultivate empathy by putting yourself in the other person's shoes and acknowledging their feelings, viewpoints, and experiences. Validate emotions, show compassion, and demonstrate understanding to strengthen rapport and foster mutual respect in personal negotiations. Consider the needs, desires, and values of the other party to find solutions that prioritize both individuals' well-being and happiness. Collaborative problem solving. Approach personal negotiations as a team effort to identify challenges, explore options, and find creative solutions together. Focus on mutual goals, shared interests, and common values to align priorities and work towards shared outcomes. Brainstorm alternatives, compromise on differences, and seek win-win solutions that benefit both parties and enhance the relationship. Respectful conflict resolution. Address conflicts constructively by managing emotions, staying calm, and discussing issues respectfully in personal negotiations. Use EIA statements, avoid blame or criticism, and focus on the problem rather than the person to facilitate productive conflict resolution. Seek compromise, find common ground, and collaborate on solutions that address underlying issues and promote understanding and reconciliation. Setting boundaries and expectations. Establish clear boundaries, expectations, and agreements to define roles, responsibilities, and parameters in personal relationships. Communicate needs, preferences, and limits openly to ensure mutual understanding and respect in personal negotiations. Negotiate compromises, adjustments, and agreements that honor individual autonomy while supporting the collective well-being of the relationship. Celebrating successes and milestones. Acknowledge achievements, milestones, and positive moments in personal negotiations to celebrate progress and strengthen bonds. Express gratitude, appreciation, and affection to reinforce positive behaviors, strengthen connections, and nurture emotional intimacy in the relationship. Reflect on shared experiences, memories, and growth together to foster resilience, connection, and long-term satisfaction in personal relationships. Self-care and self-reflection. Prioritize self-care, self-awareness, and personal growth to nurture your well-being and contribute positively to the relationship. Reflect on your communication style, conflict resolution strategies, and relational patterns to identify areas for improvement and development. Seek support, counseling, or guidance when needed to address challenges, enhance communication skills, and promote healthy, fulfilling relationships. By applying these strategies to personal negotiations, individuals can strengthen relationships, resolve conflicts, and cultivate greater understanding, empathy, and connection with their loved ones, friends, and colleagues. Effective negotiation techniques in personal relationships can build trust, deepen bonds, and create harmonious, fulfilling connections that enrich both parties' lives. Cross-cultural negotiations require sensitivity, respect, and awareness of cultural differences to navigate diverse perspectives, communication styles, and values effectively. Here are essential strategies for conducting successful cross-cultural negotiations. Cultural understanding. Take the time to research and understand the cultural norms, practices, and values of the other party's culture. Consider factors such as communication styles, decision-making processes, hierarchy, and attitudes towards time and relationships. Show respect for cultural differences, adapt your approach accordingly, and avoid assumptions or stereotypes that may hinder effective communication. Building relationships. Prioritize relationship building and trust development as an essential part of cross-cultural negotiations. Invest time in getting to know the other party, demonstrating respect for their culture, traditions, and customs. Use interpersonal skills, active listening, and empathy to connect on a personal level and build rapport across cultural boundaries. Communication strategies. Be mindful of language barriers, nonverbal cues, and potential misunderstandings in cross-cultural communication. Use clear, simple language, avoid jargon or slang, and confirm mutual understanding through paraphrasing and clarifying questions. Respect cultural differences in communication styles, such as directness, indirectness, or hierarchy, and adjust your approach to facilitate effective dialogue. Negotiation styles. Adapt your negotiation style to accommodate cultural preferences for assertiveness, collaboration, or compromise. Recognize different approaches to conflict resolution, decision-making, and relationship building in diverse cultures. Find a balance between assertiveness and empathy, negotiation tactics, and cultural sensitivity to reach mutually beneficial agreements. Respect for traditions and customs. Show respect for the other party's traditions, customs, and values during cross-cultural negotiations. Avoid behaviors or actions that may be perceived as disrespectful or offensive in the other party's culture. Demonstrate cultural awareness, openness, and willingness to learn and adapt to foster positive interactions and mutual understanding. Seeking common ground. Identify common ground, shared goals, and mutual interests that can serve as a basis for collaboration in cross-cultural negotiations. Look for areas of overlap or alignment between your priorities and the other party's objectives to create value and build consensus. Focus on creating win-win outcomes that respect cultural differences, leverage strengths, and promote collaboration across cultures. Patience and flexibility. Exercise patience, flexibility, and adaptability in cross-cultural negotiations to navigate differences and challenges effectively. Embrace ambiguity, uncertainty, and diversity of perspectives as opportunities for learning, growth, and innovation. Stay open-minded, willing to compromise, and committed to finding creative solutions that honor cultural nuances and promote shared understanding. By applying these strategies to cross-cultural negotiations, individuals and organizations can bridge cultural divides, foster inclusive collaboration, and achieve successful outcomes that honor diverse perspectives, respect cultural differences, and promote mutual respect and understanding across borders and cultures. Analyzing successful negotiation cases can provide valuable insights into effective strategies, tactics, and approaches that lead to positive outcomes. Here are a few examples of successful negotiation cases from various industries. Microsoft's acquisition of LinkedIn. In 2016, Microsoft successfully negotiated the acquisition of LinkedIn, a professional networking platform, for $26.2 billion. Microsoft leveraged its strong financial position and strategic vision to propose a deal that aligned with LinkedIn's long-term goals and growth potential. The negotiation process involved discussions on valuation, terms of the acquisition, integration plans, and regulatory approvals, ultimately resulting in a mutually beneficial agreement for both companies. Disney's partnership with Pixar. Disney negotiated a landmark partnership with Pixar, a renowned animation studio, in 2006 to distribute and co-produce animated films. Through collaborative negotiations, Disney and Pixar reached a deal that combined their respective strengths in storytelling, technology, and audience appeal. The successful negotiation led to the creation of blockbuster films such as A Toy Story, A Finding Nemo, and The Incredibles, showcasing the power of strategic partnerships and creative collaboration. Iran nuclear deal, joint comprehensive plan of action. The negotiation of the Iran nuclear deal in 2015 involved diplomacy and negotiation among multiple countries, including the United States, Iran, China, Russia, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Through extensive negotiations and dialogue, the parties reached a comprehensive agreement that aimed to limit Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. The successful negotiation of the Iran nuclear deal demonstrated the importance of multilateral diplomacy, compromise, and international cooperation in addressing complex global challenges. Amazon's acquisition of Whole Foods. In 2017, Amazon negotiated the acquisition of Whole Foods Market, a high-end grocery chain, for $13.7 billion. Please subscribe my channel, like and forward. Now, come to the topic. Amazon's negotiation strategy focused on expanding its presence in the retail and grocery industry, leveraging Whole Foods' brand reputation and physical store network. The successful negotiation enabled Amazon to enhance its market position, customer reach, and omnichannel retail capabilities through the integration of Whole Foods into its business. Peace talks in Northern Ireland, Good Friday Agreement. The negotiation of the Good Friday Agreement in 1998 brought an end to decades of conflict in Northern Ireland through political negotiations and compromise. The agreement involved multiple parties, including the British and Irish governments, political parties in Northern Ireland, and paramilitary groups. Successful negotiations led to the establishment of power-sharing arrangements, disarmament initiatives, and reconciliation efforts, paving the way for a more peaceful and stable future in the region. Analyzing these successful negotiation cases highlights the importance of strategic planning, collaboration, creativity, and persistence in achieving positive outcomes in various contexts, from business partnerships and acquisitions to international diplomacy and conflict resolution. Learning from negotiation failures is crucial for identifying pitfalls, improving strategies, and enhancing future outcomes. Here are key lessons that can be gleaned from negotiation failures. Lack of preparation. Failure to prepare adequately for negotiations can lead to misunderstandings, misaligned expectations, and missed opportunities. Lesson learned. Thorough research, goal setting, and scenario planning are essential to anticipate challenges, assess alternatives, and negotiate effectively. Poor communication. Ineffective communication, such as unclear messaging, misinterpreted signals, or inadequate listening, can hinder understanding and trust in negotiations. Lesson learned. Active listening, clear articulation of interests, and open dialogue are essential for building rapport, resolving conflicts, and fostering productive negotiations. Neglecting relationships. Neglecting relationship building, trust building, or empathy in negotiations can strain interactions, erode trust, and impede progress. Lesson learned. Investing in relationship building, demonstrating respect, and understanding the other party's perspective are key to fostering collaborative negotiations and achieving mutually beneficial outcomes. Failure to adapt. Inflexibility, rigidity, or resistance to change during negotiations can limit creativity, hinder problem solving, and impede progress towards agreements. Lesson learned. Flexibility, adaptability, and willingness to explore new approaches, compromises, and solutions are essential for navigating dynamic negotiation environments and reaching successful outcomes. Ignoring cultural differences. Neglecting cultural nuances, diversity, or cross-cultural communication in negotiations can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and breakdowns in trust. Lesson learned. Cultural awareness, sensitivity, and respect for diversity are critical for navigating cross-cultural negotiations, bridging cultural gaps, and building strong relationships across borders. Lack of conflict resolution skills. Inability to manage conflicts, address disagreements, or find common ground in negotiations can escalate tensions, disrupt negotiations, and impede progress. Lesson learned. Developing conflict resolution skills, practicing empathy, and seeking win-win solutions are essential for overcoming obstacles, fostering collaboration, and achieving positive negotiation outcomes. Overlooking alternatives. Focusing solely on one outcome, ignoring alternatives, or failing to consider best alternative to a negotiated agreement can limit negotiation flexibility and limit potential options. Lesson learned. Exploring alternatives, assessing fallback options, and understanding your partner are critical for strengthening negotiation leverage, making informed decisions, and maximizing outcomes. By reflecting on past negotiation failures, identifying areas for improvement, and applying these lessons learned, individuals and organizations can enhance their negotiation skills, strategies, and approaches to navigate challenges effectively, build stronger relationships, and achieve successful outcomes in future negotiations. Applying negotiation strategies in various scenarios requires adaptability, creativity, and strategic thinking to address unique challenges and achieve favorable outcomes. Here are examples of how negotiation strategies can be applied in different scenarios. Business negotiations. In business negotiations, focus on value creation, win-win solutions, and long-term relationships to drive growth and profitability. Use data-driven decision-making, strategic planning, and clear communication to negotiate deals, contracts, and partnerships that align with business objectives. Apply negotiation tactics such as anchoring, framing, and problem-solving to influence outcomes and secure mutually beneficial agreements. Salary negotiations. During salary negotiations, research industry benchmarks, assess your value proposition, and communicate your achievements and skills effectively. Demonstrate confidence, professionalism, and assertiveness while negotiating compensation, benefits, and career development opportunities. Seek win-win solutions, explore non-monetary incentives, and emphasize your contributions to align salary negotiations with personal and organizational goals. Conflict resolution. In conflict resolution scenarios, practice active listening, empathy, and problem-solving skills to understand perspectives, address concerns, and find common ground. Facilitate open dialogue, encourage collaboration, and seek mutually acceptable solutions to resolve conflicts and rebuild trust. Use negotiation techniques such as reframing, mediation, and compromise to navigate disagreements, manage emotions, and promote constructive outcomes. Customer service negotiations. When handling customer service negotiations, prioritize customer satisfaction, problem resolution, and service recovery to maintain loyalty and trust. Listen to customer feedback, acknowledge issues, and offer solutions that address concerns and exceed expectations. Use negotiation strategies such as empathy, flexibility, and quick resolution to turn customer complaints into opportunities for building positive relationships and brand advocacy. Contract negotiations. In contract negotiations, clarify terms, mitigate risks, and protect interests by conducting thorough due diligence and legal review. Negotiate contract terms, conditions, and deliverables that align with your objectives, minimize ambiguities, and ensure compliance with regulations. Utilize negotiation tactics such as trade-offs, concessions, and contract structuring to optimize deal terms, enhance value, and secure mutually beneficial agreements. International diplomacy. In international diplomacy, engage in diplomatic negotiations, cross-cultural dialogue, and multilateral cooperation to address global challenges and promote peace. Demonstrate diplomatic skills, negotiation acumen, and strategic patience to navigate complex geopolitical issues, treaties, and agreements. Embrace diplomacy, compromise, and collaboration to foster dialogue, build trust, and achieve peaceful resolutions in international negotiations. By applying negotiation strategies tailored to specific scenarios, individuals can enhance their communication skills, problem-solving abilities, and relationship management to navigate diverse situations effectively, achieve desired outcomes, and foster mutually beneficial agreements in various contexts. Here is a recap of key concepts related to negotiation strategies. Preparation, thorough research, goal setting, and scenario planning are crucial for anticipating challenges, assessing alternatives, and negotiating effectively. Communication, clear, open, and empathetic communication is essential for building rapport, understanding perspectives, and resolving conflicts in negotiations. Relationship building. Investing in trust, respect, and relationship building can enhance collaboration, foster mutual understanding, and lead to successful outcomes in negotiations. Adaptability, flexibility, creativity, and willingness to adapt to changing circumstances and diverse perspectives are important for navigating negotiations effectively. Value creation, emphasizing value creation, win-win solutions, and long-term relationships can optimize outcomes and maximize mutual benefits in negotiations. Conflict resolution, applying active listening, empathy, and problem-solving skills can help manage conflicts, address disagreements, and find constructive solutions in negotiations. Cultural awareness, recognizing and respecting cultural differences, diversity, and cross-cultural communication are key for building trust and understanding in negotiations. Negotiation tactics, using negotiation tactics such as anchoring, framing, and problem-solving can influence outcomes, shape discussions, and secure agreements in negotiations. By incorporating these key concepts into negotiation strategies, individuals can enhance their negotiation skills, build effective relationships, and achieve successful outcomes in various scenarios, from business negotiations and conflict resolution to international diplomacy and customer service interactions. Becoming a master negotiator requires continuous learning, practice, and refinement of skills. Here are some tips to help you enhance your negotiation abilities and become a proficient negotiator. Invest in education and training. Take courses, attend workshops, and read books on negotiation techniques, strategies, and best practices to deepen your understanding and skill set. Practice active listening. Listen attentively to the other party's concerns, interests, and perspectives to demonstrate empathy, build rapport, and uncover opportunities for collaboration. Develop empathy and emotional intelligence. Understand the emotions, motivations, and needs of the other party to build trust, manage conflicts, and negotiate effectively. Prepare thoroughly. Research the other party, understand the context, and define your goals, priorities, and alternatives to guide your negotiation strategy and decision-making. Focus on win-win outcomes. Strive for mutually beneficial agreements that create value for both parties, foster long-term relationships, and maximize outcomes. Communicate clearly and persuasively. Articulate your message, proposals, and value proposition effectively to convey your interests, address concerns, and influence the negotiation process. Be flexible and creative. Adapt to changing circumstances, explore alternative solutions, and think creatively to overcome challenges and find innovative agreements. Negotiate with confidence and assertiveness. Project confidence, assertiveness, and professionalism to convey your position, advocate for your interests, and assert boundaries during negotiations. Manage emotions and stay calm. Control your emotions, stay composed, and manage stress to make rational decisions, navigate conflicts, and maintain focus during negotiations. Seek feedback and learn from experience. Solicit feedback from mentors, colleagues, or peers to improve your negotiation skills, reflect on past experiences, and identify areas for growth and development. Practice, practice, practice. Engage in mock negotiations, role-playing exercises, and real-life scenarios to hone your skills, test different strategies, and gain practical experience in negotiation. By incorporating these tips into your negotiation approach and continuing to refine your skills through practice and learning, you can enhance your effectiveness as a negotiator, build stronger relationships, and achieve successful outcomes in a variety of negotiation scenarios. Please subscribe my channel, like and forward. Thank you. Please do not forget to subscribe, please.